Welcome back, everybody. He played a significant role in the Civil War and a very daring role as well. Instead of arming rebel forts, Robert Smalls, a slave, used a ship to rescue others and eventually went on to become the first U.S. Navy captain, a black Navy captain, I should say. Next weekend, he will be honored. And Louis Porcher and Joe McGill join us now to talk about Robert Smalls, plus a unique project that they are both working on. Guys, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for
Now,
having me.
I did not hear about this story until this morning, and it is absolutely fascinating. Tell us who Robert Smalls was.
Yeah, it's one of those stories that's not very seldom told. Mr. Robert Smalls was an enslaved gentleman, of course, during the time of slavery. And during the Civil War, he was privileged to have the skills because of work that he did prior to the Civil War, working on ships. He had access to a ship. And because he had access to a ship, when the captain of this particular ship, the planter, was in town with the crew, reveling, doing whatever they were doing at the time, he took advantage of that opportunity to free himself and others who were enslaved by commandeering that ship and sailing it out into the harbor past Fort Sumter. Now, this was interesting because he had to give the correct signals to go past Fort Sumter. He did. But once he got past Fort Sumter, the challenge was to sail the ship into a blockading fleet of the Union Navy. And he did what was necessary, putting up the surrender flag and delivering that ship to the Union Navy. In that sense, obtaining his freedom and the freedom of all folks.
And that's
on
the most
boat.
fascinating part, is reading a little bit about the narrative, not sure how true this is, but he put a straw hat on, and that some people said, you know, you look like the captain when you wear that hat on the ship. So he got the idea in his head to go and take it, and ultimately won his freedom.
Not only that, one of the most important things about that is that he had the intelligence that was kind of misunderstood back in those days to not only commandeer the ship, but an important ship. The ship had 4 heavy artillery pieces, and it had a special code book which had all of the mines and torpedoes that were in the ocean around the Charleston Harbor. And so the Union Army had received a really great treasure, and it's just an amazing, heroic event.
In exchange for his bravery, they commissioned him on the ship of his own. They also taught him to read and write, and he later came back to South Carolina, his homeland, and became a public servant.
Well, a lot of that reading and writing he had obtained prior to him commandeering that ship. I'm sure he had enhanced it when he was, of course, given his freedom. And of course, beyond the war, he went on to do bigger and better things, becoming a congressman.
Serving right here in South Carolina. Talk to us about some of the events that are planned for this weekend to really remember the story and make sure that it lives on.
Well, for this weekend, it's action-packed. There's a lot involved in this weekend. Starting this Friday, there will be a book signing at Liberty Square. That's 340 Concord Street, and that's at 2:15 there. And Saturday, most activities will take place starting at the Charleston Museum with an exhibit showing. But prior to that, we'll have two descendants of Mr. Robert Smalls there to do presentations.
It's really fantastic. We also want to mention real quick, because we're running out of time, the Heritage Community Project and how this story will live on throughout future generations.
Well, Builders of Our Heritage is a community television project along with a calendar of community events that's designed to launch in the fall. News Channel 4 is our partner, and we're very excited about it.
We're proud to be there.
It's a celebration of culture, all the various ethnic groups of the area, and it's an educational tool. We're working closely with the public school system and with local theater groups. It's going to be a great time, and on Saturday nights, News Channel 4 will be the place to be for Builders of Our Heritage.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, such a fascinating story. Where can people go and get some more information about the events this weekend or more about Robert Smalls?
Various entities are bringing this to us. The National Park Service, Fort Sumter National Monument, is a good source to find out more about the events this weekend.
All right. Fascinating stuff, gentlemen. Thank you.